Hi everybody, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel, Hallmark Plus More, where we watch and talk about shows, movies, mysteries, Hallmark ornaments, and anything else that floats our boat. So today we are going to be watching and discussing Matlock Season 1, Episode 3. It's a new show on CBS starring Kathy Bates. So it kind of takes a different spin on it since she's an older woman and an attorney, and she has her own little side agenda. So definitely a very interesting dynamic to the show. So I'm excited to watch it with you and discuss it. Stay with me after and we'll do a review. So again, this is Matlock Season 1, Episode 3. Right now on the screen, it is a black screen with the blue CBS logo. So I just want to count it down so we can watch it together. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. Previously on Matlock. I love her grandson. Oh my gosh, she's so brilliant. What are you thinking, Maddie? Wow, good job. Okay, jury selection. Oh my gosh, Maddie, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, Maddie, look at you. Did it on purpose. Planning the. Ugh. Maddie's so smart. She's always a step ahead. I like that they kind of have a civil relationship together. Don't say anything, girl. Don't say anything. Sarah, you are that kind of person. Oh, you know what you did. What does that mean? Oh, darn it. Well, she's coming after all. Ooh, boss said that? Ooh. Oh, okay. Sexual harassment cases are rough. He said, she said. Oh, all right, let's see what she's saying. what's she saying? Oh. Okay. Well, that's a little okay. So, they're on a sexual harassment case, right? Which are always, kind of like Olympia said, it's really a he said, she said. Um, Sexual harassment cases are very difficult to prove, male or female, because it does happen on both ways. So, um, I mean, a boss employee relationship, in my opinion, is different than a coworker and a coworker. But still, I think they're just proving her case. Like, hey, you said you would never date anybody in the workplace, and you did. So, I mean, yes, she did catch her in a lie for sure. In my opinion, I think having your boss harass you, and then having a relationship with a coworker are a little different because, I mean, it's your boss. You have to have meetings, you have to interact with them. But this video that they're showing, I mean, she's acting like a boss in it. I guess it's, role play. I mean, everybody has their own their own fantasies, their own fetishes sexually, but this is really looking bad on her because it's role play and she's pretending like, hey boss, do you want me to spank you with the manual? And it's like, really, it's not just an exposure of them dating, but it's actually like her fantasy of playing around, role playing, and it's really going to damage her case. So yeah, definitely interesting. Not just that she lied about dating a coworker, but this video is showing, kind of playing out a fantasy of boss employee. So yeah, I definitely think that's damaging to the case for sure. I mean, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. That's going to be rough. I know Matlock and I know Olympia, they're going to figure out a way, hopefully. Maybe somebody else to come forward. I mean, if he's harassing her, most likely, if he's a scummy boss, he's probably harassing other women. So I feel like in these kind of cases, that's kind of how they get won, unfortunately, is by finding out other people. So if this is the first person he's harassed, it's kind of hard to win because I feel like that helps the case when they find other victims or other people he's harassed. So I really hope, even though this is kind of damaging evidence, it's still early on in the show, and I'm hoping they can overcome this with something else. So we'll have to wait and see. Here we go. Oh dear. So this is kind of a good. So Maddie's a little nervous because obviously she's lying about a ton of stuff. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah, gotta nail Jeremy. Come on, Maddie. Ooh, this is rough. Uh-oh. Come on, Olympia. Okay, so why was she there? Okay, so they're doing a little better, getting her credibility back. Kind of agree with the Maddie thing. The jury did see when Maddie touched her hand, so I do think that's good. Yeah, they noticed Maddie when she was touching her hand. They did like Maddie. I noticed that too. Obviously, I'm not the meerkat and I'm not the human lie detector, but when she said you need to be next to her, because the jury needs to see that, I think that's true. I think Matlock's reaction with her mouth open on the sex tape was like a real live reaction. She was like, oh my gosh, this is really bad for our case. And the jurors saw that, obviously. So then, when she was kind of touching her hand, two or three, maybe three or four of the jurors I saw kind of, saw that and kind of saw that gesture. It's almost like a grandmother to her granddaughter, like, hey, it's okay. I'm still here to support you. So I actually agree that Maddie should have been in there. I think that did help. Apparently, though, it didn't swing any votes, according to her. So Maddie's whole getting Olympia's phone, not be in court thing, now she's going to actually try she's going to be the lead lawyer. So totally kind of backfired. I loved how she's always a step ahead. She had the phone ring on purpose, to get it out of court. And it would have worked perfectly if Olympia didn't want her in there. And then the whole expression with the tape. And now the other girl wants her in there, the human lie detector. So, I think it's definitely going to help the case, right? Because if they don't like Olympia, then maybe Maddie can come off on a softer side and kind of win the rest of the jury over. But it's just hard, even with the Me Too movement, there's just hard because I feel like it's always an uphill battle anytime you have a sexual harassment case. So, obviously I want everybody to be comfortable and fair in the workplace. So if it is, if she was harassed, I want her to win, We just want to make sure everybody's being truthful. Everybody feels safe and comfortable at work. But it's true with these he said, she said cases, unless you have videos, or witnesses, it's really hard to kind of win them, especially with corporate. They have their corporate lawyers, all these big companies, and obviously they're going to back their CEOs, or their bosses. So definitely hard, but I'm excited to see Maddie get up there and the judge. That's going to be great. Even though the judge already kind of doesn't like her because she did that whole phone thing to get the phones out of court. So she's going to have to, kind of go back and see if she can win over the judge. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Oh, no, it's showing another ad for a CBS show. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's just those cases are kind of hard to win over. So we're just going to have to see how it goes with Maddie. We're getting back into it here. Oh, that's sad. Mm. like not interested in what she's saying at all. Oh my goodness, that was terrible. Okay, well she's got to hurry because Olympia's coming back from court, right? Oh no. Oh no. I always get nervous when people do detective stuff. I mean, I love mysteries, but it's like, oh my goodness. They're coming back. Oh no. Oh, I get nervous. All right, come on, Maddie. Get there, get there, get there. Oh, look, a picture of her kids. Isn't that what we all have on our laptops? Oh no, she's going to see with their phone. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's true. They always want you to put in a code, but as soon as she puts this code in, I bet you they're going to be showing up. All right, so how's she going to get it? Oh, oh, okay. Did she do that on purpose or what? um, Now every time I see Matlock do something, my mind goes, did she do it on purpose? She is one step ahead of everything, right? When she heard that he was a Marine, the judge, I was like, okay, the judge is a Marine. She's going to feed off of that. And she kind of did. I feel like the phone was, that's not order. He's going to be upset. He's going to block all phones because he's, a military guy. So that worked in her favor. It's just, she's so good, right? They want her in the courtroom, even though she's trying to get out of the courtroom because she doesn't really, have any kind of attachment to it. She's really just given her real reactions. So I'm hoping that the coffee being spilled on the computer was a distraction so she doesn't realize she was on the computer, because I'm sure when she walked in, she was in her personal emails, right? And you can't really get out of that when they're walking up on you. So that's my guess. Mainly because I don't think anything Maddie does is a coincidence anymore. You'll notice in the first 2 episodes, every time she does something, I'm like, oh no, she's gonna get caught, and then boom, she's 2 steps ahead. So I really hope she's able to get some information. We will just have to wait and see. But it's definitely interesting. I'm really looking forward to her getting up on the stand as the main lawyer, because she's so good. It's just, I don't think her head's in the game. Her head is like, get the phones banned, get on her email. She's not really thinking about the case as much as she's thinking about getting into Olympia's files. So if she is going to be the lawyer on the case, she kind of has to like focus on the actual case if she's going to be in front of the judge. So that's going to be interesting. But we're only halfway through, so it's definitely interesting to see, what else is going to develop. I think Olympia got more credibility by putting Derek on the stand, because Derek was like, it only lasted 2 or 3 weeks. Well, why did he end? She didn't want to, date a coworker. She didn't want to have that uncomfortableness at work. So, I mean, I think that's credible. The only problem was the jury was just like that girl said, closed her eyes. The human lie detector is awesome, and she's correct. The one guy was just like not even paying attention and didn't really care. So even though I think Derek's testimony helped the case, it's not going to matter if the jury's not listening and the jury's tuned out. So even though the evidence is there, the jury is the one you have to win over. So this jury consultant analysis, I think she's really good. And hopefully, since she thinks Maddie needs to go up there, that Maddie's going to be able to really help swing the jury around, because the testimony for Derek was good. It's just sad that, like, it's not really going anywhere because the jury doesn't really care for Olympia, which I think Olympia is a great lawyer. So I just think I don't know, they resonate with the grandma. I don't know. We'll just have to see. All right, here we go. Let's get back into it, and we'll have to see what happens next with Maddie. All right, let's just see. Oh, it's showing a preview for Elsbeth, which is also a great show. All right, let's see what's happening. Now it's coming back. Mm-mm-mm. She is having Maddie do it. Uh-oh. See, she's got to get her head into the game of the actual case. All right, Maddie. Let's see. Come on, Maddie. Oh, gosh. Come on, Maddie. Oh! Oh, Maddie. I mean, that's honest, but now, oh. Uh-oh. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Why? Uh-oh. Tell her, Olympia. Deserves a win. All right, Olympia. Good pep talk. I love her husband. That's true. Love her husband. He's been in so much. He's a great actor. Uh-oh. He must have harassed her. Ooh. So she said. Oh, she's doing this on purpose. I have a feeling. Knock him dead. Come on. He's a good person. Mm-mm. Uh-oh. Come on, Maddie. Nail him. Get him, Maddie. Yes. Come on, Maddie. Nail him. Do it, Maddie. Yes. That's it? Uh-oh. Maddie's going out on her own, girl. As long as you're with the case. Yeah, Maddie. Oh, okay. So Maddie's kind of going to do her own thing with the closing. I'm kind of excited to see. So when she said steal from the firm, I'm like, okay, what's that play? Like, does she have... Oh my goodness, that is so awesome. So basically she had to get him to lie on the stand and, kind of have that perjury so that she could ask those questions. So even though that was expunged, I mean, it's showing that he had that history. So that's going to be really interesting. Hopefully that'll help the case. I guess we will just have to wait and see. Definitely interesting. Now, she emailed Maddie the closing argument, to kind of go over. And Maddie wants to do another approach. So I'm definitely interested to see. Now, this Greg Olson's guy, she mentioned to her husband. Her husband was like, yeah, he was funny. But when she looked at him and says, not so funny, I think that's her own personal harassment. I mean, obviously I'm not 75, but I'm also not 25 either. So, I mean, I've definitely lived with sexual harassment in the workplace because I do feel like, years ago, it wasn't so commonplace to really speak up against it. And if they did fire you, you really didn't have any proof. No lawyers wanted to take your case. It's a he said, she said. Most employees can't afford to have a lawyer, and it's just been one of those things. The Me Too movement was great, and then you also have cases where the infamous and the famous, Johnny Depp case. I mean, you also have places where they say they're harassed and they, doesn't really come across that way, So, I mean, it can be both. So, I mean, like I said, sexual harassment cases are so difficult because you don't really have proof. And a lot of times, if the boss is good at it, he doesn't have witnesses. He only harasses you in the private of his own office on purpose so that you never have proof. So, I mean, it's a difficult thing to prove. So I'm really looking forward to Maddie's closing arguments because this is a serious matter that's happening, unfortunately, a lot in workplaces, and it's just so difficult to do anything against the sexual harassment cases. So I agree. I want to win for Alex. I agree about the messiness. It's not a perfect case, but that doesn't mean anything. So she drank at a company party. That still does not mean that it's okay for her to be harassed. So I like what Olympia said with her little pep talk there, or her talk outside. Like, look, even though it was messy, she still deserves a win because you can't just be harassed just because, you had a boyfriend or you have this sex tape. You still should not be, harassed. If you said no, unwanted advances, so I kind of agree with Olympia on that. It's going to be harder to prove, but messy case or not, the harassment was still there. And as I mentioned earlier, I know I mentioned it earlier, part of the case is getting those other witnesses. And since you have proof that he harassed somebody else, you know what I mean? Usually there's other women that come forward or other men, because it could go both ways. Because, once they think it's okay to harass, they're going to harass other people most of the time, not all the time. There's always going to be a first victim, right? So not everybody has several harassed people, but I'm really interested to see Maddie's closing argument. So let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Should be coming back here. This should be good. I'm definitely looking forward to this. Just because, she's kind of doing that, where are my glasses, forgot my notebook, had them laughing, and kind of kept them entertained when she was asking Mr. Brooks those questions. And then, there was that pause and he said yes. So it's definitely interesting. Here we go, Maddie. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Wow. Oh, you're getting me choked up, Maddie Madlock. Great closing. Oh, you got me choked up, Maddie. And this is a fake show. Yes. That was great, Maddie. Love it. Oh, what's going on? 'What? Ooh, so Julian paid her fees. Aw. $9 million. Great settlement. Yeah, Billy, you're great. Aw. Why is she looking at her? Oh. Okay. Well, that was definitely interesting. Let's see what happens next week. But wow, that was a lot. Definitely, Maddie's so smart. So we're just going to see the preview for the next week, and then just stay with me and we'll do our review. But definitely appreciate you watching and discussing it with me. It was so fun. Let's see what's going on with the next episode. All right. A Man Named Greg was the name of the episode, which obviously we just saw. All right, let's see here. Okay, so they're showing previews. Let's see, next week. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, preview next week. She's getting into the file room. I think she's a little overwhelmed, because who wouldn't be, a file room? And I guess she's pulling him out of school. Obviously, she's not bringing him to the law firm in the file room. That would be too obvious. But I guess she's getting his information, or, asking him for information. So that's going to be great next week. So I hope you enjoyed watching with me. Stay with me and we'll do our review. So until next time, bye.